I still think Brock Purdy's a hell of a player. He's 10 times the quarterback that guy is. He's going through injuries right now with his team. He's got to right the ship. Hey, he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's got a $60 million football season ahead of him. If he doesn't settle the ship, they're going to have conversations. But to sit here and say that Jalen Hurts is in Brock Purdy's league is freaking amazing that you would even think that. Hurts can't make simple plays. And you can't take that. He can't make simple plays. He's not your future. Ooh. Woo! All right. All that being said, damn. What an absolute polarizing hour and a half that's been. Hit the like button here. And boy, I'll tell you what. I heard this morning, man, people getting a little upset here with the afternoon show here. And then somebody gave me a heads up and went, hey, John got pissed because we're getting more likes. Stick it to John McMullen. Hit that like button, man. With that being said, the co-host of Birds 365, we love John. Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, Big Silz? Boy, I've been glued to my seat for an hour and a half, Big Silz. You're on fire today, my guy.
Hey, man, I can't believe. So I'm sitting here preparing my show, and I can't believe how many people watch your show in the morning. So a guy goes, John McMullen just got pissed because Zander said that the afternoon show is killing it in likes, and John got pissed off. And I'm like, really?
I wouldn't say pissed off. He said, we don't like that. We got to change that, which is good. A little competitive environment here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like it. You got 4 hours. We got 2. All right. It's not a one-to-one comp, but I will say there's nobody like Big Silz. So I understand why those likes run up like crazy during the Big Silz show.
Please hit the like button. All super chats. Sydney, we'll get to you at the back end of the conversation here. So we promise to read all of them as always. What about that? By the way, can I tell you who gave me the heads up on this without even telling me? Because he knew that. You see, Big Silz is kind of like, I'm like a wild dog in the wild. I sniff out things. A good topic. A good take. All of a sudden, Zander posts something. This is not a comforting take. And I said, well, hence, let me read this. Sure enough, I listened to the Ross Tucker podcast, and I don't think in my 3.5 years I have ever been as harsh on Jalen Hurts as Greg Cosell was today.
Yeah, he was harsh.
He said he can't make the simple plays.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, he can't right now. He's obviously in a bit of a
right
funk.
Now.
Here's my one problem with it, because I respect Greg a lot, and I think it's pretty clownish for any Eagle fan to sit here and try and say what he's saying isn't worth a thought or a conversation because Greg Cosell has some sort of agenda. Greg Cosell has no agenda. Greg Cosell could care less. He's been breaking down film in the NFL for 40 years. So obviously he's not seeing good things on film. What I will say is I don't think you can make the blanket analysis that Jalen can't do any simple reads. I mean, we did see it, right, in 22 and 23 a little bit. I mean, is he struggling right now? Yes, but there's more there. He's in a big funk right now. I think he's in his head a little bit, and he's got to get better. There's no doubt about it. But, boy, Big Silz, this has been a tough show to stomach for the first hour and a half. I'll say that. Oh, my Lord.
I'll ask you the question then. You think he's your future?
I think it's a.
Or do you think he's your forced future?
I think he's your forced future for right now, at least for the foreseeable future. Now, I'm not as low on the player, honestly. I mean, I feel better about the player than that. I mean, I don't think he's brutal. I think he's middle of the pack. I think he's middle of the pack guy.
I think he's Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith.
Yeah, I'd say more Geno than Baker, right? I mean, Baker, okay. I think does I think Baker does a lot of things well that a lot of quarterbacks struggle with, you know, getting through progressions and stuff. I think Baker's pretty good at that, but I don't know, man. It's tough to listen to this shit. I'll tell you that. I mean, what are we supposed to do? If you're an Eagle fan with me, what the hell are we supposed to do? Just admit
Nothing.
we're effing toast?
No, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. This goes back to the one guy who's making this whole thing even more apparent and making it harder for them. Dude, Saquon Barkley's forcing their hand into taking the ball out of the hand of the guy that they want to win games. You're 4-2 not because of Jalen Hurts. You're 4-2 because of Saquon Barkley. There's no getting around it. He's your MVP on that team.
Jalen is not winning football games for us right now. I think
No.
everybody can agree with that. He's not winning games for us. Is he making good plays here and there? Yes, but like there's also the other problem with the Super Bowl conversation, right? Where everybody's like, oh, he outplayed Mahomes, which one he didn't. He fumbled and it was a 10-point swing and he lost to Mahomes. Let's be real, everybody. He had a great game. He didn't outplay Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You lost the game. Last I checked, when you outplayed someone, you're supposed to beat them. You didn't outplay them. But the problem with that is like the Nick Foles conversation. Nick Foles was elite for 2 games too. Was I supposed to give him a $100 million bag of money and make him your franchise quarterback? No. So like Jalen was great. We've seen him be great. But if you can't be in any way consistent, I mean, it's not a team. It's not a guy you can build your team around. I think that's what separates the most elite quarterbacks from where Jalen is Jalen has a great upside. What does it take for him to live up to that upside on a consistent basis? At this point, we haven't seen it in a year and a half. It's a problem. It's a big problem.
How about this? Would you say this by the end of the year will completely define how you look at him moving forward over these next 2 years? I'm not saying you have a Deshaun Watson problem, but I'm saying that you have an issue when it comes to winning that game. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with Geno Smith, dude. And if we're comparing him to Geno Smith, he ain't winning the Super Bowl.
Cilio's got me on the ground right now. It's like it's just eating my face. Just I'm laying on, I'm wheezing for air on the ground. And just waiting for the ref to tap me out, man. I mean, look, you're gonna make me face the tough realities of this right now. It's tough to even think about.
Why can't they coach him like Lamar, though?
I don't know. I think that's an organizational problem. I really do. I don't think it's a Nick Sirianni problem. I don't. I'm sorry. I think it's an organizational problem. Well, by the way, I mean, for the people who say deja vu on Wentz, me too. But shouldn't we then be pointing at the organization? Like, how did you take 2 quarterbacks and completely F them up?
And turn him into shooting stars?
Now, I don't think Jalen's that severe of a case yet.
No.
I don't think Jalen's middle of the pack, and they're not coaching him to get the most out of him. That's true.
But Wentz was more talented.
Yeah, that's true. Wentz was maybe like Josh Allen level of talent if he was coached right his whole career. Yeah. That's how good Wentz was. But I don't know, man. I'm not as out on Hurts, but maybe that's just because I'm not allowed to be. I mean, what do you want me to do? Sit here and fucking suck my thumb for 2 years as I watch this team with Jalen?
No, what I was expecting to see is a Philadelphia sports market with all of their personalities start to question the front office and sit back and listen to these guys and hear people say that, like Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni, and talk about the leadership bullshit of Hurts and how Hurts is really playing well. And then you listen to Greg Cosell go, he can't make simple plays. He's not playing well. And you hear people that have no agenda in it. And you're going like, I know. This is why I've been asking that light question. And I'm going to hammer the question because yesterday I should have been more emphatic with Marcus Hayes about it. Marcus, do you think this guy's played good football in a year and a half? And he says, as of late. And I'm like, so you took the Giants game and the Browns game and thought that was going to be a sample size to make it turn around because he protected the football against those 2 shitty teams? Now, I'll give you this, and I'll bend on this. The Browns have a good D. That was a solid game. Solid's not going to win, though, bro.
I know.
That guy's got to be exceptional. Hey, and get this. Jalen Hurts can't be your 4th best player on the team. He can't be your 4th best offensive player.
Wait, you want to do it? You want to rank them? Let's rank the offensive guys. Where's Jalen? All right. One's AJ, in my opinion.
Mine's going to be this year in 24.
Saquon?
Barkley.
Okay.
Mine's AJ second. My 3rd is Lane. You see Lane's grade? Lane's the highest graded offensive
Yeah,
tackle
Lane's
according to
insane.
PFF. Okay, 4.
Holy shit, man. There's 11 starters on offense. Where's Hurts going to be? Is he going to be
Oh,
8, 9, 10?
I'm
My Lord.
I'm gonna put Devontae there.
Yeah, I got that too. Devontae at 4. I might
5.
go.
I'm gonna put Mulata.
Okay, I was going to go either Mulata or Goddard, but I'll put Mulata. That's fine.
6. I got Dickerson.
Okay.
7. I got Mulata. I got Goddard. 8. I've got Game. No, I got Hurts here at 8.
Don't give me that shit. Dave, no, are you kidding me?
Hey, no, I'll put Hurts at 8. I got Kenny Gainwell at 8. No.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Hey,
He's bottom half of the offense.
Let me show you something else, too. You know why Henry is – Greg Cosell pointed this out on why Derrick Henry's killing it. It's because when they run that play front side and they hand the ball off to him, the defensive end has to slow play that backside play because you know why?
Right.
If he goes down the line and tries to pursue it and get him from the backside, Lamar takes the ball and goes up the field and takes it to the house and hits his head on the goalpost. Why aren't the Eagles running that play? They used to run it in 22.
I don't know. I don't know if Jalen's that explosive anymore. Dude, you can't compare. It's like the Mahomes conversation. You going to compare Jalen Hurts to Lamar Jackson?
Wait a minute. So wait. Derrick Henry looks like he did 5 years ago right now in that offense. And he's at 340 carries a year. And you're telling me that guy is already gassed? I mean,
I'm not saying he's gassed, but
how come Henry looks like he's 25?
So is Saquon. Saquon's not running like a guy with that much tread on his tires either, right? I mean, I thought he was
right there with him. He's right there.
Well, I still think Derrick Henry's the best back.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on. Now, maybe I got some Bama bias, but that dude's an absolute monster. So, wait, a couple people, what do you think of this?
Jerkins is at 8. No, I'm going to put Hurts there at 8. Hey, if you would have put Tyler Steen there, I made a shit on you, but I'll take.
Look at my boy DRC. DRC, are you crazy? He says Saquon over Derrick Henry. Come on, DRC.
That's okay. That's Philly love. That's all right.
Nah, Saquon's
not so Jalen's 8th in an 11-team offense. That's your $50 million guy. Dude, Greg Cosell, he's not the future of your team. He's the forced future of your team. That's what it is. He's not quite Deshaun Watson, but he's in that conversation where you can't do shit the next 2 years, and you got to keep – no wonder the Cooper Kupp conversation's real. They got to keep adding components to the offense because the guy's inabilities to make the simplest throws. Hey, dude, how many –
Dude, what read Cooper Kupp going to be? We can't even get to the second read right now.
How many guys have you ever seen going, Jalen, over here, Jalen, on an NFL football field? Dude, I think they run too complex of a system. Here's another great Cosell beauty. Do you know the team that leads the NFL in 12 personnel is the Ravens? They don't have a third wideout. They have a fullback.
Yeah, makes sense.
The guy's throwing for 300. He's throwing for 330 yards a game, and he doesn't go, and they don't run a 3 wideout personnel. He goes like this. The Ravens, it's incredible, man. They don't believe in 3 wideouts. You know why? The quarterback is an RPO quarterback. He can't find it. Why have 3? Get this, Zander. Here's a sign of the front office's ego. You have, I figured it out listening to Greg. You have a third wide receiver on the field that in the last 4 years, they probably have 120 catches in 4 years? Why even have it?
I don't even know if they have that. How many did Watkins have last year? By the way,
I'm assuming they have 30
Watkins, for all the hate he gets in Philly, he was a superior number 3 compared to Jahan Dotson.
I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe 30 passes a year to your third wideout position ends up getting complete. Okay. So I'm just going 120 catches.
Yeah. So what do you want Cooper Kupp for? Look at Mark. Mark must be new here. Mark, Zander has no backbone, just agrees with everything Silz says. Mark, we disagree and debate more than we do anything on this show.
Yeah, but we're not debating.
Maybe I just am having a hard time
Get
disagreeing with Silz on this because
How
I
about
think
this?
he might be
Because
right.
he's not debating me on this.
Yeah,
This
I'm
was
not.
a
I think
guy,
you're right.
Greg Cosell's. This was Greg Cosell's comment, not mine.
Well, and I think you guys are probably right. I mean, look, I watched the tape breakdown from Cosell. It's not pretty. Let me just tell you that. I mean, when he says basic concepts, there's a reason he says basic concepts. There's a mesh route that's easy reading for quarterbacks, and he doesn't get through it at all. I mean, we're in a little bit of trouble here. If Jalen can't get out of this, man, we're not going anywhere with this team.
Hey, dude, all I'm telling, I've been saying it for 3.5 years to you freakazoids, and you guys have been fighting me on this whole thing. I go, this guy can't read defenses. And here, this is Greg Cosell on Ross Tucker's podcast. And this is his ass talking.
Their defense they're a difficult offense to watch right now. Jalen Hurts is not playing very good football. They're a running football team. Their defense has played a lot better the last couple of weeks. Now, people can say they beat the Giants and the Browns, and that's fair because those are two of the lesser offenses in the league. But if you just look at what they're doing and how individuals are playing,
that's John.
They're playing better on defense. But the Eagles can't sustain. If they want to be a true playoff team, they can't sustain the way they played last week. Your quarterback has to be a bigger factor. Jalen Hurts, for whatever reason, Ross, and he's played a lot of football games, and you do them in the preseason, so you're familiar with him. For whatever reason, he's just not seeing things clearly right now. Basic concepts he's not seeing, and that really handicaps and hamstrings your offense when your quarterback just can't execute basic concepts, and that's what he's struggling with right now.
Very difficult offense to watch right now. Struggling on basic concepts. The offense either is too difficult for him to understand, or he is got the wrong coordinator again. Pick one. Or there's one last one. He just ain't good enough.
Oh, fuck. How many coordinators are we going to go through? I think they made Brian Johnson look like a Dumbo. He's fine. Brian Johnson's probably a great coach in this league.
He was 8th in the NFL last year in total offense.
James A. I agree with James A. This is discouraging. Silz has me down and out, everybody.
This is not Greg Cosell with Ross Tucker said this. Get this. Ross Tucker didn't want to follow up because you know why?
Yeah, I know. Because Ross is paid by the Eagles. Yeah, Ross is paid by the Eagles. I love Ross, actually. But yeah, I get it. He's respected.
And Ross has been on our program, but can you imagine? Ross, yeah, this is Bob Lang. How you doing?
Dude, I would bet you Ross got that call anyway, even without responding.
Absolutely. Because guess what? I have had this happen. I've had a guy come on the program before, and I've had a guy, when I was hosting a show in San Diego, I had the former general manager of the Marlins on with us, and he lit in to AJ Preller and said, that guy is the worst general manager. He's one of the worst people, and we're the flagship of the Padres. Man, I was in the principal's office right after the program.
I believe it.
Hey, the Padres called Ron Fowler, the owner. It's like, what? Why would you put a guy? I had no idea he was going to say that. And I heard Ross going like, I thought he was having a communications issue with his mic. Yeah, dude. Greg Cosell lit into your boy today, man. I
know he did. He really did. And by the way, there's so many Eagle fans on Twitter. Greg Cosell's this. I'm like, no, he's not. Okay, you might not. You might disagree with him, but don't start slandering Greg Cosell because you don't like what he had to say about the quarterback. Look, I do not think that we're perpetually in this state. That's where I differ from you. I think Jalen can get closer back to 22 form. Maybe not there, but close enough to where he's not slowing down the offense with all these weapons around him. And that's what you got to hope for. I mean, shit, I got to remain at least some hope. I'm 7 weeks into this thing, Big Silz. I mean, we're not eliminated. I'm not in a summer conversation yet. Oh, I can't wait for those.
Do you know who Jim Jones is?
Who?
Jim Jones. You know who he is?
Jim Jones?
Jim
No,
Jones.
James Jones on the.
No,
No,
Jim,
I
you
don't
know
know.
who Jim Jones is?
I don't think so. No.
He ran a cult in Guyana called Jamestown, and it was called the Jamestown Massacre. It was this cult that believed in one thing.
Jonestown, is that what it was?
Yeah, Jonestown. And this guy killed everyone with Kool-Aid. And unfortunately, Zander, you haven't been given enough to kill that take yet on Hurts. And you're still wandering and wobbling around alive. One day you're going to take and put the Kool-Aid down and realize this guy is not the future and he's just not good enough.
Silz, I don't have Kool-Aid. People, wait. Now I got Kool-Aid. I got more comments on a daily basis right now on JAKIB that I'm the worst Eagle fan. I'm a Jalen hater. I'm this. I'm that. I mean, which one is it? Now I'm a fucking Kool-Aid drinker. How about I'm just right in the middle? How about I'm hoping that this team can stack each week, put a building block in place, and get closer to being able to get back to the Super Bowl? The NFC sucks.
Hey, this is a good take, believe it or not. From Dickhead Reyes. How much of Kelsey's factor do you think him not being out there hurts the quarterback having to deal with the new setting of the line protections because your quarterback is incompetent, not being able to set protections, and that someone's got to help him out, and they got to force feed him, and they got to help him. You know, they got to have a bunch of the guys help. How much do you think that plays into it? M. Reyes, believe me, what are we going to do? Spoon feed this kid? Sit down and take the night off and put a hat with that aluminum foil around it. Go sit in the corner, kid.
I think he got his JAKIB shirt. Maybe he'll wear his JAKIB shirt tonight to bed and think about Big Silz telling him how much his quarterback sucks.
That's LJ. LJ's got a cutout picture up there in Canada, thinking of Big Silz. Dude.
All right, wait, look. All right. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Aren't there some positive things going on right now in Eagle Land?
Yeah, the defense looks like it could be showing signs.
Defense showing some signs. You got your two rookies.
Barkley's been better than I thought.
Yeah, so how much can we take the load off Jalen Hurts if he stinks so?
They have.
Oh my God, this is a tough segment, everybody.
Hey, they have. Hey, by the way, Mitchell looks decent. Cooper looks like somebody.
All right, so we're building right now. You come up, wait, 2 straight games, no
but
turnovers.
You can't win a Super Bowl without the number one position being effective.
Okay, but how good does he have to be to get back there?
50% better than he is now.
All right, can we get to that point?
Well, they allow it because you say this. So you think they're going to go and run the ball? I saw an article in Sports Illustrated. I don't know if John wrote it or if that was him, but there was an article in Sports Illustrated that has been saying exactly what I said. So you think they're going to roll into Kansas City and have 2 guys making $51 million and a quarterback making 50, and they're going to run the ball 40 times, and they're going to be a run team? That ain't happening.
All right, well, let me ask everybody this, because I keep getting that from John, and I said this to him this morning. I'm like, all right, fine. We're not going to run against the Bengals because they have a higher-powered offense. Do we feel like we can win a shootout with Joe Burrow?
No. Hey, I just checked the Bet US line. It's now 3.5.
Yeah,
Bengals. So that answers no.
Yeah, so why are we trying to get into a shootout with Joe Burrow and the Bengals?
And you want to take the ball out of your quarterback's hands so that you can, like Greg Cosell said, you're a running team now.
I'm happy to be a running team for at least a couple of weeks. Take out some of this pressure off of Jalen Hurts, who clearly is struggling right now to acclimate. Well, maybe not pressure, but there's more stuff added on his plate. Like M. Reyes said, first year without Jason Kelsey, you're reading protections. I mean, he's doing all this pre-snap reading. He's doing everything now that he wasn't doing in the past. It's clearly been too much. He's regressed as a quarterback even more. So take some of it off his plate. Rely on your $12 million running back, who's the second best running back in the league. Run over a couple opponents. But they can't do that. You know why? Because A.J. Brown's going to cry after the game about targets. And then everybody's going to be mad at me for telling you it was a stupid effing comment by the wide receiver of the football team as this team morphs into more of a running team. A.J. Brown crying after the game about targets. One game.
I don't have to say anything. I mean,
that's why I hated that comment, because I know. Think about what the coaches are thinking about. right now. Oh, man, we might have to run the ball this week. Oh, be careful. We got to
Yeah.
make sure we got A.J. Brown as target.
You got to feed him.
Got to make sure A.J. gets his targets. Okay, good. So now we're no longer game planning to win football games. We're game planning to get people stats. Nice.
How about
Shitty
this?
approach.
How about this? If Jalen Hurts only throws to 2 people and only sees 2 people, why have 3 people on the field?
It's a good question.
Why doesn't anyone ask Kellen Moore that? Jahan Dotson's never going to be a factor. By the way, the third wide receiver is a factor in Kansas City. He's not a factor in Philly because the guy can't even find a freaking tight end. Holy cow. This has been awesome. I can't. Do you believe the NFL caught up with him? And that's what he's not had the ability to adapt.
I mean, they never did when he was running.
And what the Eagles did was they adapted in style for him.
Right.
And they took that away in that ability of the Giants because you know what? I think they did what you said, Zander. Silz, don't you think the league will catch up with that RPO? Front office said, agreed with you. Yeah, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn him into a passer. You turned him into shit. He's not, and he'll never be. And you took away and you coached out of him his greatness.
That's where we are though in Philly. I mean, what are you supposed to do then if it's an organizational thing and they're pulling the quarterback out of what he does well?
Keep my handcuffs on. Can't do anything about it. I'm handcuffed here.
Yeah, Victor's right. I mean, talking about Cooper Kupp, we can't even throw the ball to Dot. We can barely get Goddard involved when everybody's healthy.
You know what's really messed up about this whole thing with Dotson, though? I got to tell you. So wait a minute. The Jets get Devontae Adams for a 4th?
A 5th?
A 5th? A 5th?
Well, no, it's a conditional 4th.
It's a conditional. Okay.
It's a 5th with if it meets the conditions, it's going to go to the 4th. Let's see.
So who do you think is better, a 32-year-old Devontae Adams or Jahan Dotson at 25?
Well, I don't know. I guess for contract purposes,
Oh.
Well, no, I'm not saying that justifies a trade. I'm saying that the Eagles couldn't have made that move. So it's not
a 3rd rounder.
Well, they traded back, right? They got a 5th rounder back. So they traded back, 60 spots?
Okay. It's still a 3.
Still a fucking 3. You picked up 5 and you got rid of a 3 for Jahan Dotson. Was that worth it?
Hey, so wait a minute. Because he's 25 and he's cheap, according to Howie.
Yeah.
He's worth a 3?
Dude, welcome to having a $100 million offensive line, $65 million in wide receivers, a $55 million quarterback, and a $12 million running back. You don't trade for expensive wide receiver 3s, especially when your quarterback can't get through his progression.
He's a Nissan 300Z.
That's too nice. Dotson's
nice. Do they even have? I thought you were talking Datsun Forte. They don't even have Datsuns anymore.
No, they're not. Datsun's like an old beat up Civic.
Yeah.
I guess he's a newer one. He's just a
Do you believe this out of this guy if Shane was still coaching? Yeah, I do. Shane would have adapted the RPO offense when the defense. Yeah, I believe this.
Look at this. Big Smooth says Hurts is the highest graded quarterback with a clean pocket. I saw that stat. How do they judge that, though? Because Jalen doesn't stay in a clean pocket if his life depended on it. The dude bails from every clean pocket I've ever seen, Big Smooth.
He had 14 attempts, and he was the cleanest quarterback in the pocket.
And he wasn't. We had 18 dropbacks. He got sacked 4 times.
And he missed 2 touchdown passes. Look at this guy. This guy will try to make a stat where this guy is better than Mahomes. How about the guys who put the stats up that Mahomes has 6 touchdowns and 8 picks? And I'm like, yeah, here's the deal, though. Mahomes is going for a 3-peat, and he's 6-0. Dude, don't put his name in there.
I'm so done with that on Twitter. I see people, even people are responding to the Cosell tape. Now do Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, yeah, do the 3-time Super Bowl winner, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, and the best quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, you're right. You're right, everybody.
So explain this to me. How can the Chiefs have the best head coach, the best D coordinator, and the best GM and the best quarterback?
That's a good question. You know why I think Andy Reid's the best head coach?
Organizationally, too. He's organizationally.
Yeah. But you know why I think he's the best head coach? He's got no ego. Like when I was watching that show, The Quarterback, I was telling people I was watching that on Birds 365. I never watched it when it came out. I don't know why. Yeah. I skipped past the Marcus Mariota bullshit because I'm like, I don't give a fuck about Marcus Mariota starting in Atlanta That was the stupid part of it. But I like the Kirk Cousins part, and I like the Mahomes part. Andy Reid basically gives these guys a shell of an idea, and he lets the players go out and like really put it together. Like he's like, Patrick, if you see this, you can have Kelsey do this, or have your ex do this, and I'm like, holy crap, man, that is incredible the way he allowed them to really spread their wings.
Can I give you one moment where that works? How about when Travis Kelce pushed him on the sidelines in the Super Bowl, and everyone had a cow about it, except Andy Reid after the game. He goes, he's an emotional kid, man. I love the kid. I don't take anything personal. You know, where some coaches would have a massive problem with that and create an issue with that, but his winning covers all that. By the way, I pointed this out to you. So let me get this right. Andy Reid's coaching staff. So you had Sean McDermott in the building, and now he's the head coach of the second best quarterback in football in Allen. Okay. So you had John Harbaugh on Andy Reid's coaching staff. And he was the special teams guy, correct? And now he's got the reigning MVP and the best team at football, and he's won a Super Bowl, and he's going to Canton, correct? Okay. So Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl, and he was with Andy in Philly and in Kansas City. Is that right? Okay. So, and you had Jim Johnson, who was hired by Andy Reid, considered the best assistant coach in Eagle history there in Philly. I ask you this, if 14 years was enough, granted, why didn't you hire one of the guys off that Reid coaching tree that has gone on to have insane success throughout the league? Or is that, again, the front office thinking that they know better in hiring who they think fits the narrative for them when it comes to controlling the narrative of the franchise? I mean, how do you allow all those coaches to walk out your building when you know that every one of those coaches have gone on to insane success in other places off that Andy Reid coaching tree? How's that possible?
I mean, look, do the Eagles keep picking the wrong guys, or do the guys who are here keep messing up everybody that comes here? I don't know. It's a fair question. I mean, you bring up a good point, and I think you're right. I think this organization has a lot of ego. Whether that's good or bad is up to you. And they believe that their way is the best way to do it. And they force everybody into that mold, it seems, versus, you don't think that Kansas City owner is saying a boo up to Andy Reid about what to do on the field. I mean, he's not saying a thing.
Clark Hunt is not saying anything to him. And it almost goes down the same line, Zander, that when you have Bob Kraft up in New England during the Belichick era, you think he was parachuting in and trying to tell him exactly what was going on when it came to when it came to him having to decide decisions? The only time he ever parachuted in was Deflategate, Spygate, crap like that. He wasn't parachuting in there in that situation there, getting involved in player situation. That was all Bill Belichick, man. That was all Bill. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, this organization, again, look what they're doing there. Hey, and for what people keep, and I don't like it, is that many people here, by the way, hold up for a minute here. Here's the notable coaches that you had on the team in 2004. Holy shit. So here were your coaches on the 2004 team that lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. You had John Harbaugh, special teams coordinator, Sean McDermott, Marty Morningwig, Pat Shurmur, and Steve Spagnuolo, linebacker coach.
Wow.
Now I know where Spagnuolo and Andy Reid have their connection. He was his LB coach in Philly. Holy cow. That is the best coaching staff. And I promise you, Jeffrey Lurie did not pick those guys because those guys are now in KC. Oh, and by the way, Brett Veach was a special teams assistant coach on that team. And now he's the best GM in football.
What makes you say he's the best GM? Just because he has Mahomes?
Well, because he has gone out and got the right personnel for Andy, and they all fit.
It's true.
Every player how about this? So Kareem Hunt hadn't played a game in 375 days. He gets 106 yards rushing? How does that happen? I guess only.
You know what else I think they did is I think they were ahead of becoming a defensive football team. Like they didn't go into that season with an ego and say, "Oh, we're going to be the best offense forever." They switched. They were like, "Let's get this defense built up." Now they're a defensive team right now. They really are, right? I mean, they're a defensive team, and that's credit to Brett Veach. He does do a good job. I mean, shit, I will give him credit. And you bring up a good point. They got the best coach and the best quarterback in the league. You tell me.
And they got the best coaching staff. Yeah, Brett Veach is on that team as an assistant. And by the way, he worked with John Harbaugh on picking personnel. He would have fitted in Baltimore too, dude. Dude, what happened?
Come on, Victor. That's a crazy comment. Victor says that's a comment in hindsight. Maybe 30 years from now, the next Mahomes falls on Sirianni's lap and he wins 4 Super Bowls. And we're like, we had him in the building. So you think Andy Reid's doesn't have anything to do with their Super Bowl?
Are you under the impression Andy Reid didn't win a division title with Alex Smith? Do you understand they won 12 games? Then next year they replaced him with Mahomes. And for the record, they didn't want to draft, or people didn't want him to draft Patrick Mahomes. They wanted him to draft Mitchell Trubisky, or they wanted him to draft Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I heard Brett Veach was the guy who. Now Andy's the one who I guess traded up.
No, it was John Dorsey that talked him into it.
Dorsey. I heard Veach is the one who discovered Mahomes.
That could be. He went and scouted him, brought him back up for John. If you remember right, John Dorsey was the GM there, and there was a power struggle between Andy and him. Well, he got rid of him, and Andy won that, and he placed Brett Veach in that position, and that's what's happened ever since. And by the way, the scouting that Brett Veach has done since he's replaced John Dorsey has been spot on. Dude, they move off of Snead. Do you know where they're ranked in the secondary now? They're ranked second in pass defense now, and they got rid of the best corner in the league. Dude, the coaching on that place, the last time I've seen something like that, where did you have that dynamic in the building? Well, the general manager was Scott Pioli and was Nick Caserio in New England. And you also had Belichick making personnel decisions. You end up having Belichick, the greatest defensive coordinator of all time, as your head football coach. He brings in savants like Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniel. Yeah, sure, those guys aren't great head coaches, but that's not what they were hired to be in New England. They were hired to be OCs. Then you have guys like Brian Flores as special teams guys, and you have other coaches that were in there. They're personnel decisions. Who ever heard of Amendola or Edelman or Wes Welker or any of these guys? These guys were undrafted free agents. Chris Hogan, who? He played lacrosse, and they put him on the team. That's the decision-making that those guys were making in the organization.
Let me ask you a question. I got a question for you. Is Jalen Hurts a Howie Roseman signing, or is he a Jeffrey Lurie signing?
I think he's a more Jeffrey Lurie signing. I think he's more of a Jeffrey Lurie signing. You
don't think Howie Roseman's right now sees some of his deficiencies and knows that he had no choice to pay him because that's what Lurie wanted, do you?
Well, Zander, his actions say to that. Yeah.
I mean, right. He keeps going and adding to the offense.
Right.
And by the way, Howie's smart enough to know it's easy to get offensive moves by the owner because the owner loves offense.
And when you hear the head coach go, the best offensive players are wide receiver, that's already an indictment. They indict their quarterback with that when they say that. Okay? I mean, dude, like you said, this offseason, they addressed the contract extensions and giving now, I get Devontae's, his time was up, but you had 2 years on AJ. You didn't have to address that.
Yeah, no. That was way.
But again, it was a signal to him to make him feel cool. But by the way, to make him feel
I think they were trying to beat the market. I mean, they knew everybody was coming up, and they did beat the market. I mean,
he's $1 million off of Jefferson, and he didn't beat it that bad. He makes $35 million. Jefferson makes 36.
I think AJ's 32, right? Yeah.
Is he 32? Okay,
yeah,
all right.
So you beat it by a couple mil. Yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, look, I think that's part of it. They do it. They are infatuated with that, though. That's part. I think
why wouldn't you have addressed the money issue with Brian Burns on a 2 and a 5 and $25 million?
Well, they don't like trading picks. We talked about that yesterday.
They don't want to trade picks for picks they can't make.
They don't want to trade valuable picks. And
Get
Pete's
this.
right. Pete says how he's trying to beat the market. That's what I just said. Look, that might be why we paid Jalen Hurts early. Jeffrey Lurie said, okay, this is the quarterback I want. And Howie said, all right, well, let me get the deal done now before Joe Burrow and all these other dudes get paid. And then you'd be stuck paying him $60 million.
To even have Hurts in the conversation of a $50 million quarterback is insane.
Yeah, but that's what he's like the 9th or 10th highest paid quarterback now, dude. That's what everybody makes if you're mediocre. I mean, Baker Mayfield got slighted, man. He got like 3 years, $100 million.
And he's outplaying him.
And he's outplaying him in a big way. What's Jared Goff making? He got a big deal, right?
He got a 50. Jared Goff went to the conference championship game last year.
Yeah. He got a 4-year deal worth over 200 with a massive
173, I think he's making annually.
Yeah, yep, that's what it is. 212 he got. Wow.
And he's got 150 quarterback rating the last 3 weeks. I mean, the guy's playing exceptional football. Dude, I just thought today when I heard that, it was the first cannonball shot across the bow that here, do you think the Eagles will draft a quarterback with a premium pick? I'm not saying first or second, but do you think they'll draft a quarterback this upcoming draft in April?
Maybe that's why they're not willing to give up a 1 for Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. Maybe they know they want that premium pick. I'm not sure. I doubt it. But, I mean, they did it to Wentz.
Right. They drafted Hurts in the
drafted Jalen right after they paid Wentz.
Right after.
Right after. I mean,
by the way, maybe the new way is hedging your bets because, hey, it worked out in Washington. You know, they gave all those draft picks to the Rams to get RG3. And then what did they do? In the 4th round, they took Cousins.
Third round, they took Cousins.
Okay, they took Cousins and
That's crazy.
Look, a first pick and a 3rd rounder they took in that draft.
First and a 3rd you spent on quarterbacks.
And the third worked out. The third worked out. Man. We're going to get to all your super chats, I promise you here. How do you feel going into this Bengal game?
Going to be a tough game. I mean, if they play it how I want them to play it, I think the Eagles are good enough to win. I don't think that Bengals defense is good. Not that I don't think they're good. They're not good. Their metrics are terrible. They have one great player on defense. They have Trey Hendrickson, who's got 7 sacks in 7 games. He's got 3 games with 2 sacks. He's a beast, and you don't have Jordan Mailata, so that's going to be a big problem. But if you're smart and you can game plan him out or run at him to mitigate the pass rush and open up the game, keep the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands. This is why I like the running game this week. Forget being a ground and pound team. All signs to me this week say you should run the ball. Why would we want to keep the ball in Joe Burrow's hands? Why would we want to get into a shootout with the Cincinnati Bengals? With Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Mark Chase.
You can't.
You're not going to win. So run the ball, keep the ball out of Joe's hands for as long as you can. Control the clock, play complementary football, set up the play action a little bit for Jalen Hurts. Find your receivers when you need them and go and win the football game. You got tons of talent. It's right there in front of you. But if they come out and they start throwing the ball over the yard and Kellen Moore gets pass happy and we go down 7 or 14 points early because, Joe Burrow, by the way, Joe Burrow right now. He got 14 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's got 110 quarterback rating, and he's completing 70% of his passes. What's he going to do this week to the defense who sits in zone?
He's going to go for 4 touchdowns this weekend.
What's his completion percentage going to be?
75%.
It's 70 right now with not playing all zone defenses. He's going to throw for 75, 80% this weekend.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to keep the ball in his hands or play a pass happy style, we're not built to keep up with it. And this is where I think
that's why you got to run it.
This is where I think Howie is grasping at straws because he's like, we're built to be we're built to be the shootout team. But they got the wrong quarterback to be a shootout team.
Yes.
But think about how they built the rest of the offense.
It is built for that.
The clear desire for them is to be what the Bengals are in terms of being able to be in a shootout. They got the wrong quarterback for that. And that's not even a knock on the quarterback.
You want to make a fantasy trade here?
Uh-oh.
I'll take Matthew Stafford and put him on that offense.
Oh my God.
They're looking to deal him too.
Dude, you know what's funny is you could put
you can get him for $32 million.
All right, ready? Let me do an exercise with you. Who would win more games with the Eagles? Jalen Hurts or Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams.
Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'll take Jalen. Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott?
Dak.
I'll take Dak there as well. Jalen or Kyler Murray?
Push.
Push. I like that. Jalen or Kirk Cousins?
Cousins.
Cousins would throw so many yards on this offense, man. I'll take Cousins as well. Jalen or Matt Stafford?
Stafford.
Stafford. Jalen or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff for sure. Jalen or Sam Darnold?
I'm going to hang with Jalen here.
I'm going to hang with Jalen there as well.
'Cause
Jalen
I
or
don't
Baker
believe
Mayfield?
what I'm seeing in Minnesota.
Me
I'm
neither.
not there.
Me neither, but the point is that he's a passing quarterback.
Yeah, I got it.
Right? Jalen or Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield. He's beaten them 2 in a row.
I digress after that
He's
because
2 and-
everybody else you're going to take over
He's
Jalen.
2-1.
Jalen or Derek Carr?
Jalen.
Okay. All right, I just had to make sure I had the right cutoff.
Derek Carr.
Jalen or Geno Smith? Jalen, come on. I'm not taking Geno Smith. I don't think Geno's a prolific passer. Like Kirk Cousins, like people say
Maybe
Kirk
by
Cousins.
an inch.
You're right. Kirk Cousins is like not that good. I get it. Like but the thing that Kirk Cousins is he is a thrower of the football, man. He's a natural thrower.
We're talking about a guy who fits in with this offense.
Yes.
We're talking about a guy who can move.
They want to be a throwing football team, and they have the wrong quarterback to throw.
They don't have a throwing quarterback.
I don't get why this. And this is not a knock on Jalen. It's really not. It's showing that the organization wants something and is forcing Jalen to try and be that when that's not his game.
What would Lamar Jackson do on that offense?
Well, Lamar Jackson
wouldn't. They would probably ruin him too.
Yeah, that he wouldn't thrive here. They wouldn't do what Lamar Jackson is doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because you know what? The head coach in Baltimore has say, John Harbaugh. The head coach in Philadelphia is a doorman at a strip club.
Wait, you think people are pushing back? They think Geno's better. Geno's a good passer.
There's a part of me that thinks Geno's
the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah.
Well, maybe then. No, I'm still taking Jalen. I'm sorry, guys. If you want to take Geno, that's fine. I won't criticize you, but I'm going to stick with Jalen over Geno.
Hey, I'm just saying. I saw that stat too. He was leading the NFL in passing yards, Geno Smith. All right, got one last topic for you before we read the super. Ready?
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine this offense with Matthew Stafford. Wait, let's answer my man Kyle.
Silz and Zander. What's the trade value for Matthew Stafford? Because the contract is $32 million and you owe him money, okay? That has to play into it. So you're not going to get a superior draft pick that you think for a 35-year-old, is he? 36-year-old guy? I were to give for Matthew Stafford, I'm not going to surrender a 1 for him.
No. I'm not giving a 1 for Matthew.
I would give you a 2 and a 5.
That's still rich for me. Give me a 3rd. Will they get rid of him for a 3rd?
Matthew Stafford win you a Super Bowl if you gave him a 2 and a 5?
Potentially.
Okay.
But what are you going to do? Remember, this is all fuddy-buddy.
Who gives you closer to winning a Super Bowl, Stafford or Hurts?
Ask you that. I mean, just so everybody knows that this is a fuddy-duddy conference. It's just for fun. Just for fun.
Yeah.
If you did trade for Matthew, okay, you gave up 2 and a 5. What are you doing with Jalen Hurts? Just putting him on the bench?
No, I'm going to make him my red zone Wildcat quarterback.
Oh, my God. That disrespect is too far from me. He's not Taysom Hill.
Yeah, he'll make him Taysom Hill.
No, I'm not going that far.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, wait. Who gets you closer to winning a Super Bowl, Hurts or Stafford in that offense?
I think probably Stafford. I think probably. Yeah.
What he did in LA, he beat Brady in the postseason 2 years ago.
I just don't like Matthew Stafford. I don't know what it is. The dude's a fucking weirdo. I don't know why I don't like him.
You don't
He's a
think
great
Hurts is
thrower.
a stupid weirdo with his stupid
I don't
comments
care. No, I
sometimes?
think Hurts is a little weird, but like you said earlier, I like Hurts as the face of a franchise.
Yeah, me too. I got no
I
problem
wish
with him.
I wish he could play better sometimes, but
Tyson, Jalen Hurts. I like it. Look at
all right,
Zander can't take
who's
it.
better? Wait, who's better? Tyrod Taylor or Taysom Hill?
Oh, I like Tyrod Taylor better.
Okay, so you've increased your insult to Jalen by calling him Taysom Hurts.
Yeah. Or you could call him Teddy Bridgewater Hurts.
Yes,
you can
Kyle,
go-
you're correct. Stafford played at Georgia. That's why I hate that dude. That's right. That's
And he
right,
played-
Kyle.
And by the way, everyone always was like, oh my God, Tebow ended up killing him every time they played. Yeah, well, who had a great career in the NFL? You know, Matthew Stafford doesn't have a 500. Matthew Stafford doesn't have a 500 record.
Yeah, that's because he was in Detroit. I mean, shit, they didn't do
Well,
anything.
Jared Goff has a winning record up
Yeah,
there.
but Jared Goff got Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Didn't Jared Goff start 0-7 his first year in Detroit?
Did they? Probably. Sounds right.
His first year in Detroit was not good. I remember Detroit wanted them out of there.
Oh no, I thought he was a bridge quarterback. Now he's making 53.
Now he's by the way, he's playing up to the contract. It's like you said, Jalen got paid and has regressed. Jared got paid and he's having his best year ever. Big difference.
Better. He's
big
totally
difference.
Last question before we do the supers. By the way, if you want to throw super chats, please do it. How concerned are you about Barkley's workload as the season continues? Let me see something here. I want to take a look at Saquon Barkley's carries right now and where he is because, dude, Saquon Barkley has been spectacular when it comes to carrying this football team. Well, let's take a look at carries, where he's at right now. So he's got 108 carries, if I'm not mistaken, as of right now after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's do this here. So that's a lot of carries right now after 6 games. 108.
108, that's a lot.
Divided by 6 is 18, okay? So 18 times 17 comes out to 306. You think that guy can handle 306 attempts this year carrying the ball?
His most ever was 22. He had 295.
And that's before the knee injuries.
Yeah, but remember that the Birds have him for 2 years, like fully 2 years. They might try and really, I don't want to say like beat him into the turf, but they
run him into the ground.
Yeah, they might run him into the ground. I mean,
I would run him into the ground too.
Yeah,
I'd run that pony into the ground until he
295. You're right at 305. Let's say he scales back a little bit. They're resting him in practices. They've said that basically that John said.
I saw that yesterday.
John said this morning that they're going to basically not. He's not going to do anything in the week, basically all year, because they know that they have to keep his legs under him. So, I got no issue with that. I think he'll be able to hold up. Like I said to you earlier in the segment, man. He looks young to me. Like he doesn't look like a guy that has 1,300 career carries, which is what he has. He had 1,200 carries coming out of New York. And how many did he have in college? He had like 900 plus, didn't he?
Yeah, 900 plus, like 940.
Yeah. He doesn't look like that to me. He looks spry and young right now. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to change, but it'll be interesting to see how he holds up. But I'm not overly concerned about it. You know what I'd say, though, is Kenny Gainwell is running pretty good this year.
He is.
And I'll get the stats so that we can be accurate for everybody. But Kenny Gainwell has run pretty good this year. He has 21 carries for 96 yards. So nothing crazy, but, if you want to become more of a running football team, let's get him involved. Let's start running a little bit with him to take some pressure off Saquon and kind of give you some versatility in the running game.
I want to read something to you here about Derrick Henry.
Silz is laughing. That means it's going to be tough for me to stomach.
Hold on here.
Go ahead.
So that workhorse in Baltimore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 of the last 6 years, Derrick Henry, 303, led the NFL in 2019. In 2020, he had 378 carries for 2,027 and 17 touchdowns. By the way, the year before he had 1,540 and 17 touchdowns. In 2020, He played in 8 games, had 937 yards and 10 touchdowns. The year he got hurt. He
In
turned
8 games, 10 touchdowns?
10 touchdowns in 8 games, and he ended up 9th in rushing that year and missed the entire second half of the season. 2022, he led the NFL off of a knee injury with carries with 349, with 1538, 13 touchdowns. By the way, every year he's averaged over 4.5 carries a game. In 2023, when all of you in here said he was washed, he led the NFL in rushing carries, 280, with 1167 on that shitty Tennessee team, and had 12 touchdowns, 4.2 a carry. This year, he's leading the NFL in carries with 134, which is about 358 to 60 carries. He's got 1863, and he's on pace for 2150, and he's got 8 touchdowns. He's on pace for 22 TDs, and he's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. He's averaging 134 yards, 124.7 yards a carry.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yes. Hey, all I'll say to you is, how come that guy looks young? Right? I mean, he looks like 5 years ago.
Well, both of them went to better teams.
Barkley too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, both of them went to better teams, and all of a sudden they both look young again. I mean, it's pretty crazy thinking about how many carry. Some of those Derrick Henry number carries are insane. 350.
That's old.
I mean, right now I feel okay about where Saquon's at. I do. I mean, you're on pace for what, 308? We said
the only running back I've ever seen with that amount of carries and that amount of yardage is Eric Dickerson.
A Warriors Rage is making fun of me. It was an inside joke because Silz has been busting me that Miami has more Hall of Famers than Alabama.
We do.
I know he's a fucking Hall of Famer, dumbass.
I'll say this, dude. Was Mark Ingram and him in the same backfield at Alabama?
I think so. I think Mark was.
And that's why Alvin Kamara left for Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So you had them two dudes in the backfield, because I know Najee and him didn't overlap.
Dude, that running back room was insane at
you
Alabama.
Had the guy who was the first-round pick to Cleveland, also who turned out to be an NFL best. He wasn't that awful in his first year. He had 900 yards. I forget Richardson. There was a kid, Richardson, at Alabama that went in the first round. He might have been in that room too, Richardson, or he might have been before Derrick Henry. But because there was a guy that got drafted by the Browns, then he went to the Colts. And he ended up getting, and he may not have been there with Derek, but I think Mark Ingram and him were together. Yeah, Trent Richardson.
Yeah.
Trent Richardson may have been there with Derrick Henry. Dude, you had some crazy great backs.
They were right before I got there. I wish I was there for them. They were right before I got there. You want to do some supers?
Let's do some super. Hey, my wife watched him, Derrick Henry, at Alabama, and she said, my wife, for whatever reason, saw Sapp at Miami. She saw like a bunch of these kids. She goes like this, that Dexter Lawrence at Clemson. My wife's got an eye for that. She goes, Derrick Henry, I guess he leaped over somebody. And I think the Sugar Bowl or some shit, he jumped over someone. And then he turned around and ran someone over too. She goes, that guy is the best dude in the draft. And I go, he went in the second round. She's like, wow, how did he
go in the second round?
He went in the second round.
That is absurd. And Saquon went second roll.
Well, wait, you know why? They thought he had too many carries at Alabama, and that wasn't going to translate. They didn't realize he was going to turn out to be a guy like Adrian Peterson, and he was going to be able to withstand. I'll tell you, too, him coming off that knee injury, turned around at 378 carries the next year. That's insane.
That's crazy, dude.
Dude,
yeah, he's a beast.
He's Nick Saban's greatest player that he's ever coached at Alabama. He's too good. Dude, when he goes to my daughter, honest to God, my daughter, and I'm sorry I'm glazing over him, but my daughter's watching the game and she goes, why does it look like everybody's trying to duck out of his way? I go, he's 6'4", he's 258, and he runs a 4.5. That's why they want to get out of his way. Dude, people get out of his way when he's running. You see that 65-yard run he had last week against the Bucs? Dude, he still looks like he's 25 years old. He is dude, you had some all-star team, man. With all those old linemen and them running backs, they're breaking people's ankles, man. Incredible. Let's do the supers, man.
Yeah, wait. I'm trying to think of Alabama Hall of Famers that'll come up. Derrick Henry, obviously.
Julio
Julio,
Jones. Julio
Julio
Jones.
Jones, Mark
Julio.
Ingram. You think Mark gets in?
No. I think he's a really good back.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he gets in either.
No. Julio will get there. And like I said, maybe Hightower.
Maybe on Hightower.
He won a lot of Super Bowls up there in New England.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so he may be in that conversation.
I think there's some dudes right now that are showing. Now they got to keep it up. They got a long way to go. But there's some defensive guys like Patrick Surtain, Minkah Fitzpatrick's out there. That dude in Detroit is playing insane right now. I'm
going to agree with Kyle here, man. If Landon puts about 7 Pro Bowlers together,
see, would he be a Bama Hall of Famer because his last year was at Bama? Like if Jay
started at FSU,
actually, I'm not even going to say what I was about to just say.
What? Because I went to Maryland. Hey, listen.
No. I was about to say if Jalen Hurts became a Hall of Famer, would he be an Oklahoma Hall of Famer or an Alabama Hall of Famer?
Well, I take the SEC championship over that bullshit Big 12 any day, and I don't look at.
Yeah, but Hurts kind of reps Oklahoma now.
Yeah, but I don't look at him as an OU quarterback. To me, he's an Alabama guy.
I don't know, man. Hurts thinks he's an OU guy.
SEC Player of the Year.
He graduated from Alabama too. Remember?
Hey, was he an SEC Player of the Year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was.
He was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year. I think his rookie year, freshman year.
The Big 12. Hey, Barrett Brooks. No disrespect, but who fucking cares?
Big 12. Wait, you want to talk about real quick on Alabama football? That's the problem with our new coach. Dude's built for the Big 12. Or the Pac-12. Yeah. He is not an SEC coach. Not an SEC coach. Not at all. He's a funny dude. He's like, remind me of the Eagles. I'm watching him. I'm like, oh, we're being cutesy. We're being cute as hell. Hopefully we can be cute and get past Vanderbilt, but we can't.
Hey, Kamara.
Here we go. Ingram, Richardson, TJ. Now, TJ Yeldon's not going to be a Hall of Famer. No. Eddie Lacy, D. Henry, and Kamara. Kamara is going to be not going to be.
He will. He'll knock out the door there. And by the way, Patrick Surtain, if he continues his play, that's down the line.
That's what I said. I said Patrick Surtain. Yeah. There's a couple dudes. I mean, Will Anderson, obviously only a second-year player right now, but he's got upside. Wow. Now, I think if Washington was better in his heyday, both those tackles in Washington are really good players, man. Yeah. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, those are 2 really good players. Now, I don't think they're going to be Hall of Famers because they were in Washington. Maybe if they keep going for a while with Washington being good now, or at least.
See, what Alabama has over we used to have this. We had volume and an all-pro team. There was a time, Zander, that the all-pro secondary was Buchanan, Sean Taylor, and those guys were in the secondary. And the linebacking core was Jonathan Vilma and Ray Lewis and John Beeson. Those were the starters in the AFC. Yeah. So, I mean, Miami, and then the tackles were Cortez Kennedy and Sapp. These were all on the all-pro teams at one time. So, I mean, we really, Butch Davis and Dave and all those guys that were on, those guys really did a great job of recruiting, but it suffered over the last couple of years here. I voted for a couple Alabama guys for the Lombardi Award too.
Oh, that'll be cool. They dropped Barkley's mic'd up. That'll be cool. Oh, good, cool that you voted for some Bama dudes.
Yeah,
by the way, Nathan. Yeah, I think Pete Kamara started that Bama. I think did Saban cut him?
No. What Saban did for him was really cool. He went to him and said, "No." He went to him.
Saban cut him because of off-field stuff.
I thought they went to him and said, "Listen, your carries are not going to be here because of Ingram and Henry, and you're not going to get the carries." So get this: he wanted to. Dude, he had a really nice career at Tennessee.
Yeah, well, when you transfer to Tennessee, you're now dead to me. That's like transferring. Transferring to the Gators from Miami.
I can't wait. Until you guys play Auburn, and you have to eat that damn statement that this guy's writing checks that for this new coach, dude. Here's Nick Saban.
He wasn't saying Hall of Famers. He was saying that's the running back room.
Yeah,
that was the famous running back room.
Yeah,
Ingram, Richardson.
Oh,
Yeldon,
okay.
Lacy, Henry,
wow. TJ Yeldon.
Wait, let me find a picture because there's a picture. Remember the picture that
get the hell out of here. That was the running back room at Alabama.
Here it is. Look.
Holy cow.
Let me pull up the pic. Oh my gosh. That's right, Young Prophet.
That's right. TJ Yeldon, Eddie Lacy, Derrick Henry, and Kamara.
Look,
Ingram
there's
and
a picture of
Richardson.
them. Sorry, it's small on Twitter. It's not.
All first rounders, right?
Oh my
How about
God!
this?
Look at them dudes.
All premium NFL players at best. Look at this.
Am I allowed to already start reminiscing on the old times in Alabama?
Hey, wait a minute.
I miss these times.
I'm
already.
assuming that 3 dude in the middle there is Henry.
Yeah. Oh. Duh.
Yeah. The guy looks like a tight end sitting in there. Look how
Yeah.
big that dude is, man. Dude, you guys really did. You guys were just as great at recruiting as we were. And the only problem that I had with your dynasty versus ours is that Nick never let those guys have fun like Jimmy let us have fun. He just never let you guys unwind like that. And I always had a problem with that. Now, maybe because we didn't have social media. We didn't have social media, so we could get
different eras, man. It required a different style of coaching. And you look now, I mean, people are making fun of I'm not making fun of them, but I'm telling you what the commentary is out there in the Alabama circle. That Ryan Williams kid, he's great. There's a picture floating around from some sorority chick on campus who posted him up on Monday or Sunday right after the game, and he's got orange nail polish on. Now, I don't care about the nail polish, but it's a different era, right? I mean, he's wearing Tennessee-colored nail polish after losing to Tennessee. That's our biggest rival, Tennessee.
Hey.
I'm just saying it's a different era of athlete. And when I look at why Nick Saban walked away with seemingly a lot of juice left, I'm like, I think he was done with this.
Hold on for a second. Did I hear Zander just say Tennessee's our biggest rival?
In Alabama?
The youngsters have changed the room, man, because we're playing FSU and they suck, but I don't care. I don't care they suck. Florida State are kids that I know and kids that knew me, and we played all-star games together. And I'll tell you what, I will never say that Miami's rival is anyone else other than Gators and FSU. And Auburn is your rival. And you're going to go
Auburn and Tennessee, Silz.
Dude, it's Auburn and then Tennessee.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How is Auburn the same team in the same state?
The Auburn rivalry is huge because it's in state and people in Alabama don't have NFL football. College football is their life. It's the Iron Bowl. I know. I went to it every year. It was a great time. I know. It's a huge rivalry. There's a famous clip of Nick Saban. Actually, no, it's not famous. He just did it recently.
He just did it.
And they're talking about and he's like, really, the rivalry is Tennessee. Players. Now, there's a famous video of the dude.
What, burning the tree down?
No. Oh my God. Who's the Alabama guy? He had the famous video and he does this. He does a street interview. Alabama guy.
Dude,
I would love to play this.
You know how many Auburn people text me when Saban made that comment? And they go, do you hear him say Tennessee? It's a number. I go, I heard him say it. I also heard him say that Vanderbilt's the easiest place to play college football in the SEC, and they got beat. Yeah, man. Are you crazy?
Wait, look, let me show this. Have you ever seen this?
No.
Man, I hate Tennessee because first of all, it's Tennessee, and I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches, and I hate Philip. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like, and I hate Neyland Stadium. It looks like a garbage truck worker convention, and I hate all their quarterbacks. I hate Tennessee, man.
Describe what you feel about the colors too.
It reminds me. It's not that orange that you can stay. See, I hate Tennessee more than I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. See, Tennessee's colors is that throw up orange. It's not that orange that you can sit with. It's that puke inside of pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they losers. They sore losers because they're not Alabama, and I hate Tennessee, man.
There you go, man. Every time we play Tennessee, that video,
pumpkin puke.
Yeah, that video goes around the Alabama circle.
Hey,
every time we play Tennessee.
Hey, it's a pumpkin puke.
Yeah, pretty funny, man. So no, look, there's a lot of people, like I just said, they hate Tennessee, man. The Bama people do not like Tennessee. Now I'll tell you this. Nah, maybe I shouldn't say that. Nah, I won't
Go
say
ahead,
that.
do it. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know who's watching, Silz. I got people. I don't know who's watching. All I'll say is I took a nice trip to Tennessee when we played them in Knoxville. It was a great time. Let me just say that it was a great freaking time.
Did you get hammered?
Huh?
Did
Well, you get hammered everywhere you go when you're in college, dude. But no, it was good. It was good ass time, man. It was good. It was a good ass time.
It sounds like he had a fun time with a honey there. That's what that was. Oh, now I got it. I got it. We'll move on.
I don't know what you're talking about, Silz.
I got it.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Oh, I'm not going nowhere now. I got the message, man.
All I said is that Knoxville's a nice place. It's a fun place.
I got a stop sign right in front of me now. I got it. I hear it, man. Let's hit them super chats, man. Before you get a text message, you ain't eating dinner tonight. You're gonna have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Polska Trucker checks in. I think that the Eagles have to win this game. If not, we are in trouble after the Jaguars game. The games get a lot harder.
They do. You got Dallas, Washington, and Baltimore coming up on the flip side of that. Oh my God, that means you got Derrick Henry and Lamar coming up.
Are we if we lose to the Bengals, I think we're fine still. I mean, you could beat a lot of
NFC ain't shit right now.
NFC ain't shit. That's where I'm like,
NFC, no way. Next super.
All right, let's do it. Daniel Bigelow. No, Goff was traded mid-season. He went to sleep 5-2 and woke up 0-7. Oh, is that what happened, Danny? Wait, is that right?
Is that right? Hey, Danny, was he traded mid-season? Was he mid-season trade? Was that right?
Jared Goff. Let me look.
That's right. Stafford was a mid-season trade to Los Angeles.
Bigelow is low-key a football savant. He always has information. I love it. Well done, Daniel Bigelow.
Yes. He's very good. His takes are very good.
21 was his first year in Detroit, and he played 14 games.
Oh, no.
I don't think he got traded at 0-7, did he?
Well, maybe did he start in 14?
Let me look real quick.
Because if Stafford started. No, that may have been. No, it was off-season, Daniel. No, it was an off-season deal. No way. I think he's wrong here with that.
I thought it was off-season too.
Yeah, it's an off-season deal. Oh, good, Daniel. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, it was off-season. It was an off-season deal. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Senor's had absolutely horrific takes today. He's been
Senor, not your best day, my guy.
Not your best day, guy. You have been pathetic all day long. Go ahead.
All right. Let me keep going.
Yeah.
Third and Davis should be enough for Stafford.
No way. Why would they want a fat beluga whale and a third for a premium quarterback? Seriously, Jordan Davis is a beluga whale right now. Okay? Very suspect, not very tough, and a real gentle soul. I don't want a gentle soul playing D-line for me. I want a monster and an animal. Give me a killer whale. Hey, get this. Jordan Davis is a beluga whale, and Jalen Carter is a killer whale. You can't have those two sitting next to one another, in my opinion. One will eat the other.
Yeah, Silz. I knew. I'm watching the first hour and a half of the show today, and I'm like, this is gonna be a tough segment. Silz is in rare form. He was coming. He was coming at us.
It was too easy.
It was too easy today. That's why I had no defense.
Oh, okay, Senor. You under the weather today? Oh, it's all right, honey. We'll take a calm on you there. Don't worry, sweetness.
Daniel Bigelow. AJ's 32, and if he would have waited till 26, he would have asked for 40. Oh, contract.
Yeah. Or 14 more touch. Hey, by the way, think about this, AJ. This guy complained the offense had 14 passing attempts, and he still had the majority of them and 90 yards of receptions in a TD. And he's bitching about the offense, going, well, I didn't get, we like to eat too. So what'd you want, 20 touches? This guy, man, please, I'm sick of him already. Pretty soon he's going to be back to A.J. Owens. We're not there yet, but we're almost rolling in that lane here. We'll see what happens here.
Why is the Chiefs GM the best in the NFL, says Daniel Bigelow.
Okay, 3 Super Bowls, 4 appearances. Every single draft choice that they land on, even that kid Galifianakis that they got from Purdue, I didn't think was going to be a star. He is. Yeah.
Or Laptis.
Yeah. No, I like calling him Galifianakis.
Purdue. It's funny because I didn't like him.
I love that comedian. I love that guy. Galifianakis.
Yeah. The only comedian I like right now, I've never been a big comedy guy, but the dude I like right now is Theo Von. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Man, he says some shit. There was a clip going around, and not to get political, he was talking to JD Vance, who's running for the president of the vice president of the United States. And he's sitting there and he's like, it's sad you can't even do cocaine in this country anymore. And I was cracking up because Theo Von is he is hilarious, dude, man.
Can't even do coke in this country anymore. Well, you can at the White House.
He was talking about the fentanyl. I guess they're all laced, but just the way he said it to the VP candidate was really funny.
But you can do coke at the White House because they don't know whose 8-ball that was. But hey, we digress. Go ahead.
Theo Von's a really funny guy. The Lord's Grace says Devontae Smith has some words with Hurts too because he had -2 yards. Yeah, he can't be too happy, right?
But the cool thing about wait,
you don't go into a game often as a receiver and deduct from your statistics.
you walk out owing money. Hey, yeah,
you left with less yards than you had going in.
So you walk into that game and the general manager's on your doorstep the next day going, hey, you owe us a game check.
Oh my God. No way Devontae Smith is happy right now. No way.
You owe
Derek
me a game check.
What's up, Derek? Appreciate it, brother. He says Jalen problem is he likes big plays. He want to throw the ball downfield too much. I don't know if that's a Jalen problem.
It's not. It's a
I talked to John about this morning.
Hey, Derek. The 2 dudes that have won the most Super Bowls in the last 25 years don't have big plays down the field.
I know, and the Eagles are obsessed with it. Like, even listen to Sirianni's press conference 2 days ago. When somebody asked him about the turnovers, he's like, yeah, I mean, it's one of our top metrics, right? Our top 2 are always or sacks they asked him about. Our top 2 are always big explosive plays and the turnovers. And I'm like, boy, they really like explosive plays. Maybe that's why Jalen's constantly throwing the ball down the field instead of taking some underneath stuff. I don't know. Derek, you bring up a good point. I just wonder if it's Jalen or if that's the way he's being coached. I'm not sure.
It's the organization's philosophy. You say it and John says it all the time. This is where it is. This is what they want. By the way, I heard someone go, the Eagles are leading the NFL in plus 40-yard plays. And I went, oh. And then I heard someone go, do you know who's leading the NFL in plus 20-yard runs? The Ravens. Who would you rather be?
I'll take the Ravens.
And who do you think who's closer to winning a Super Bowl with those plus 20, 40? But the Brady and the Kansas City Chiefs are nowhere in those conversations. I don't get it. I don't get the infatuation with that.
My email says I'm interrupting you. My email, you're not here every day. Sometimes I can't even get a word in, and sometimes I got to shut Silz up. All right? Sometimes I got to shut Silz up now. I'll try.
Well, unless you're like John McMullen, who I have to filibuster sometimes to say some shit on the post-game show. I mean,
my God. Silly is still crying about like week 2 of the post-game show.
Yo, my God. Well, I had to sit there and the guy wouldn't take a breath. I thought I had an oxygen mask and he was going down scuba diving. Holy shit, man. This guy was deep sea diving on me on the post-game
Sydney
show.
family. What's up, Sydney?
Hey, Jen.
Best passer, Hurts, Lamar, Fields, or Murray? Oh, God.
Well, whatever you want to do there, just put Hurts last. So let's – you can always start with Hurts last.
Kyler Murray?
Wait a minute.
No, not Kyler Murray. Justin Fields
has a higher QB rating than Hurts does this year.
Yeah, because Justin Fields can't throw a freaking beach ball, dude. Justin Fields is not a better thrower than Hurts.
Well, I'm like,
I'll take Lamar, Kyler, Hurts, Fields.
I'm so glad we're having a debate on who's a better passer, Justin Fields or Jalen. What a great convo.
Oh, this is brutal. This is a brutal day on here.
I told people this was going to hurt today.
Yeah, it hurt. Let me tell you. Kimberly says, Howie the Hobbit will screw up the drafting of another QB. I'm hoping they realize we are much smarter than they think. Money talks, bullshit walks. Kimberly, good luck with that. I'll just say that.
Hey, Kim, I got your DM the other day, and I'll help you out, and I'll see what I can do. So go ahead. It's all good. Yeah, I like her, man. She's playing safety with Sue for me and knocking out douchebags like M. Reyes and LJ when they get out of hand, or sometimes even Senor. Those are my 2 free safeties, Sue and Kimbo. Boom. How you doing?
I like
all
it.
Good.
Hurts, one read, $50 million. Howie doesn't like overpaying.
I told you he was a 1-year wonder. I told you this after.
Wait a second. We're 4-2. Let's let it play out a little bit, Big Silz.
Yeah, wait, folks, ready? You want to hear some deja vu? Silio, how can you say we're this team at 10-1?
Sil's giving us the spark notes.
How can you say that we're this team at 6-0, 7-0? Dude, you're not as good as you think you are. You think you're this. You ain't this. Oh, man. God, told you. Do a little history on Jim Jones.
Wait, you know what I got?
He killed all those people in Jonestown with the Kool-Aid.
I saw. I looked that up. Look what I got. Speaking of history, I think people will like this. I got this book, and it's Ray Didinger.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Let me turn off my stupid green screen, which is going to block it out. You know Ray Didinger. Come
Absolutely.
On. Ray Didinger's a legend.
Most of the guys that have been on.
I got this. It's called the Eagles Encyclopedia.
Oh, killer.
It's really dope. This is the Champions Edition. It's really dope, but it gives you all the history of the Eagles. And the first thing I read in this sucker, I got it like yesterday. The first thing I read in this sucker was about the owner. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Hey, I know who Ray is because Ray's like a legendary guy. When I first started working here, there was some dude named
Ray's a legend.
Yeah, there was a guy named Harry Reyes or something that I had to do a show with or something, and I was like, "Who's Harry? Who's this guy Harry that worked in Philly?" I never heard of him. Tony Bruno. Tony Bruno had to remind me. He worked with me over at 90. I go, "Who the hell is he?" Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I digress again.
Silz is in rare form right now.
Harry who?
All right, we already got that one. We got a couple new ones, I think. Yeah, Anthony Wilson checks in. All these games are winnable except Baltimore. You're not wrong about that. I mean,
nope.
Got some winnable games out
Anthony,
there.
I agree. I think you're in every game because of your offense. Absolutely. And you'll be out of every game because of your offense. Your quarterback. Got to get to these super chats here, man.
We got them all. What do you mean?
No. Anthony just put a new one up. There's 2 new ones here.
Yeah, I got them. All
right. Hey, I know you're a little under the weather now and a little upset with the Jalen Hurts, great Cosell stuff today that your guy can't make the simplest of plays. Hey, dude, honestly, think about something here. You paid a guy $50 million and he can't make a simple throw to a screenplay and a simple throw on a flaring running back out of the backfield, waving his hands, and he can't see it. Now you know why he holds the ball too long. He can't process the information. Look at that. See him? Take a deep breath. Breathe, Zander. Breathe.
John says, must win because if the Eagles fall behind, that means they have to throw with no short game. That's not Jalen's game, and it's on tape for other teams.
And he tries to throw across the middle.
He is right about that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We'll see. Anthony Wilson says, Silz, you give Baltimore so much credit, but what have they won since Ray Lewis retired? Guess you've given out silver medals like you do for Buffalo.
I'm just telling you they're a better team right now than you. I don't know where you hidden that in there. They're the best team in the league right now. They don't play Super Bowls in October, Junior. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What have they won since Ray? Well, I know this, that they have a Super Bowl under John Harbaugh, and that coach is still there. They hired the right coaches, and they hired the right personnel for Lamar. You know. I know they don't go through coordinators and coaches like you do. That's not what Baltimore does. You know how many general managers Baltimore's had in the last 25 years? Two. Eric DaCosta and Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah. Ozzie Newsome does a good job. Derek Willis says, Hurts is not a one read. He just don't like or to take the underneath routes. He definitely doesn't like to throw underneath. That's for sure.
Or across the middle.
But Derek, then explain to me like the mesh route where Devontae Smith is, you can almost reach out and hand the ball to him. He's waving his hands like he's trying to get saved from the middle of the ocean. And right in front of Jalen Hurts, it's clearly his second read of the mesh route, and he doesn't throw it to him. Takes a sack after 4 seconds. I mean, I don't know. Look, I get it. I think you're right that he's not a perpetual one-read quarterback. Right now, he's playing like a one-read guy.
I bet you Baltimore, Anthony, beats the Eagles by 18 points.
When is that game?
3 weeks.
Let's pull up the Eagles' schedule. Where are we at on this thing?
They might beat you by 21.
All right, here we go.
They crushed the Bucs by 20.
Let's do a quick glimpse, all right? These are not final predictions. These are just top of the head talking. Eagles, Bengals, Silz.
I'll give that out on Friday, but
Okay, that's fair because that's this week, so we can save that one for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jags, Eagles. I like the Birds.
Birds.
Eagles, Cowboys in Dallas.
I gotta think the Eagles win that game.
I can't take the Cowboys. They suck. They suck. I know we struggle in Dallas, but they struggle in Dallas right now.
I think Dallas is going to win 5 games this year.
Yeah, Commanders, Eagles in Philly on Thursday Night Football.
Washington. Now,
In
is Jaden
Philly?
Daniels? Is Jaden Daniels?
I would assume he's going to be healthy.
Man, is that going to be a close game? I'll take Philly at home.
I like Philly there too. Eagles, Rams in LA.
They'll have everybody back by then. Nakua's coming
Is that
back
Sunday
tonight.
Night Football, November 24th. Is that Sunday Night Football?
I think so. They may get
so they go Monday night Thursday night, and then they go all the way through to Sunday Night Football.
I think Nakua's coming back tonight, and Cooper Kupp is back.
I wonder if that game will get flexed.
So Cooper Kupp and Nakua will be back for that game. I'll take the Rams in that game.
That's a tough one for them. I'm going to take the Eagles. I don't trust the Rams. Give me Eagles, Ravens. I go Ravens. I mean, I don't think we're in their league right now. Ravens. And then you got the Panthers.
Beat them.
Obviously Panthers. Steelers, Eagles.
No, obviously Eagles over Panthers. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Obviously Eagles over there, but Steelers, Eagles.
Steelers.
I feel like I like the Steelers too. And then Eagles, Commanders in Washington. I think we're going to split.
So
I'm going to take Washington. And then Commanders or Cowboys, Eagles in Philly. Give me the Birds. And Giants, Eagles in Philly. Give me the Birds.
Yeah.
We got a couple tough games.
9-10 win team.
Oh, now you're giving them 10.
No, I'm not giving them 10 because I know they're going to drop one of them easy ones.
Now you're giving them 10, aren't you?
No, I'm not giving. No, they're a 9-win team. I'm not budging off that 9. No way. No. Because they're going to drop one of them Cowboy games. You watch. Okay.
Yeah, they changed it to 4:05 for the Jags. That's right. I'm wondering if they'll change that Sunday night game versus the Rams.
They're flexing a 4-2 team out of primetime games because the quarterback is not sellable.
Well, we'll say the same thing about Joe Burrow then. They flexed him out of 4:25 for a 1 o'clock.
He's 3-4.
He's also got 14 tutties and 2 picks. I don't know what CBS was thinking.
Me too, man. I'm done with that. I mean, what's the game they put in there?
I think
they put Washington. I think it's Chicago in there.
Yeah, which is a fun rookie battle, but
I kind of get it. But Joe Burrow and Hurts.
Burrow and Hurts is a better storyline. Burrow and Hurts is a better storyline than people are giving them credit for. They're the same draft class.
Yep.
Remember, they're the same draft class. Yep. They battled in college a little bit. Like, I think they're a really good
story. I'd rather watch that Bengals and Eagle game than the Bears and Washington game. Sorry, my friend. But yeah. All right, where are we on the like list here?
The legendary like list as named by Big Silz. Let me find out. 251. Nope, 266. 266.
266. Guys, let's try to get that baby up near 350 today. because John McMullen was moaning and crying today on the Birds 365. When Zander absolutely in a comical moment said that the afternoon show was destroying. And by the way, we're on 2 hours more, and so I was like, oh, what's he crying about? But there,
I wasn't crying.
Not you, John was. Remember, I got a filibuster against John, and now John's got an ass with us having more likes because we have a couple more hours in him. John's got an ego too, even with the Southern delivery. How y'all doing?
You think John is a Southern delivery?
No, I think it's a slow delivery.
It's a slow delivery for sure.
But I love listening.
Look, we've had John for 4.5 years. I love John because
me too.
And there's I don't know what it is. I think there's like a therapeutic part of listening to John that people love because the dude has gotten views our entire time we've had him for 4.5 years.
You know what I loved last week on the post-game show about John? So John, I'm expecting John to kind of like take some solace and that the team kind of bounce back and look better defense. Here's John. Well, it's the Giants, and you're not really taking anything out of this game, are you? Zander was like deflated immediately. You two guys have absolutely blew up my whole damn thing. That was a performance the guys on, and then John's like this. Well, you can't take anything out of that game. What Zander?
The word J-Mac used this week was there's no transitive properties in this game.
Oh my God. I had to get a thesaurus out and look it up and go, what the hell is he talking about?
John's a smart guy. He really is. I love listening to John, too. There's a lot of people that love John. International says I love John. A lot of people love John. John's a great reporter. He really is. He's great. He's objective.
Can I tell you why I like John the most? Honestly, you know why I like John the most, folks? Do you know why I like John the most? Because I have absolutely assassinated that organization. I have gone after everybody from the top down. And John walks into that building at NovaCare every day. And they must look at him and go, come here.
They had conversation with him. They had conversation with him about Big Silz. Yeah, it's safe to say that the Philadelphia Eagles do not like Big Silz. Oh, by the way, a great story I forgot to say. This morning, I got a call after my morning show. It's my pops. I'm like, oh, what's up, pops? How you doing? Talking some business. And he's like, yo, dude, I was down in Philly today in the city. And my dad does a lot. My dad's a very charitable man. So for all the people who criticize my father, they have no clue what my dad does and the kind of man that my father is. I grew up with the best father in the world. And no, we don't come from a shit ton for all the people who think that we're this multi-millionaires just doing it. No. My dad's a great man, but anyway, he was doing something for a charity with EBOD Foundation, and the winner of the charitable giveaway is getting a Jason Kelce signed, like really cool portrait. I wish I had a picture. I would show it. So my dad met up with Jason Kelce this morning and got it signed, and he was talking to Kelce, and they had a good conversation. And he's like, "Oh, I know JAKIB Sports." My dad was wearing his JAKIB Sports polo. So it was a really cool moment, my dad said. And Kelce asked him at the end, he's like, you want a picture or anything? My dad's like, I don't do pictures. I'm good. I'm like, that you should have got it. I would have posted it up on JAKIB or something.
No shit.
Really cool moment. Yeah, cool to see, cool that that Kelce was talking.
Kelce knows. Hey.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think Kelce would. Kelce's been on JAKIB, by the way, in the past.
He has.
I don't know if he would because Odyssey or WIP, they don't like JAKIB. They've been coming for us for years. So I don't know if they would let him because he does that official hit there.
Absolutely. That's really cool, man. How about this? So Jason Kelce, who has the #1 sports podcast and one of the top personalities in the city of Philly, knows JAKIB Sports.
Oh, he knows us well. He pointed it out to my dad. So I know you guys. I know who you are. I know JAKIB, and pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, can I tell you what I found out the other day? This is going to be, watch this. Hey, you want me to deflate that story? So I'm tooling around and I'm checking out some of the Eagle players that have responded to me in the past. So I go, oh, here's a tweet that I got from Brandon Graham. I go back over to try to take a look at it. He blocked me. And
Brandon Graham blocks everybody.
And I'm going like, I've never said a negative word about Brandon Graham in my entire life. And he blocked me, and I'm like, has to be because I must have been talking shit on one of his boys or something.
Yeah.
Because he's very protective of his guys. You know what I mean? All right.
Forte, I'm sorry that you don't have a good relationship with your father or whatever it is, but you criticizing me for talking highly of my father will never get to me, brother.
Dude. Yeah.
One of the greatest joys and things of my life has been building a business with my father. It's been the greatest blessing in my life. So, fuck off, Forte.
Hey, here, I'll tell you something personally you don't know about me. I'll tell you this. The greatest time in my life outside of my daughter and my wife and playing ball is getting up at 4:30 in the morning, freezing my baguettes off with smelly fish in the back of a gutted Impala and going and lobstering and fishing with my grandfather. We did that for about 15 years, and I'm on the boat. My cousin used to come occasionally too, but from 4:30 in the morning to 4:30 at night, my pop through the summertime and into some of the fall, we had a lobster business, and we would sell them Atlantic Fish Market, some of the places around. I go around with my pop, and those times were so amazing. We're out there in Long Island Sound setting our pots to the Trade Center buildings, and we're sitting out there all by ourselves in a little tiny boat. It was like Old Man in the Sea. That's one of the greatest times of my life, being with my grandfather.
Yeah.
Get this. My pop was one of those guys, never told me he loved me. Every single freaking day of his life, he showed me, though. Every day I knew where it was. My grandfather raised me, and my grandmother raised me, and my aunt is now continuing that and having raised me. So, Zander, you don't have to tell me, brother.
No, I get it. And I don't think Forte meant it in a bad way. So I see your comment, Forte. I appreciate it, brother. I was just clapping back because
because you're sensitive.
Hey, listen, we take a lot of shit that people don't know about, and there's a lot of shit.
People don't know what JAKIB means. You should tell them one day.
People don't know a thing about us. Not a thing about us.
Do you guys know the name?
A lot of shit out there, and I like to push back on it.
Hey, Zander,
it's all bullshit.
People don't know that that's the initials of his of all of his.
Yeah, so JAKIB is now more split, where I'm running JAKIB Sports. It's the sports division of JAKIB. JAKIB is much bigger than just sports. We've been doing programming on radio. My dad has for 14 years.
And religious
he does a lot. I'll give him at the end. He does a lot of radio programs. He does a lot of political programs. He works with the unions in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Pittsburgh. He worked with a couple years. So he does a lot of programming on radio. And I took the sports division and kind of kept the name that we had. And JAKIB is an acronym for my dad's 5 kids. So my dad has 5 kids. Obviously, I'm one of 5. J is Joseph. A is Alexander. That's me. So I'm the A in JAKIB. K is Kateri, my younger sister. I is Isabel. And Brittany is my oldest sister. So,
I love that.
Yeah, his 5 kids. That's where JAKIB comes from. And that's why the name, people are like, what the heck does JAKIB mean? That's what it means. It means a lot to us, so we would never change it.
Hey, folks, you know my favorite things I ever heard out
Philly
of
4 for 4. I wish, brother, but no.
Hey, you know my favorite thing out of that family? The favorite thing I ever heard out of the Krause family was this. So the mother goes like this: you guys will never find another guy like that silly old guy ever again. The mother likes Big Silz. The mother knows. I love that your mom knows that too. So
my mom loves Big Silz. Well, if you walk through the house at home, there's 6 or 7 TVs in the house just from the different rooms. Every single one, all day long, has JAKIB Sports playing on every single TV. So anybody.
Wait a minute. No wonder my aunt told me to stop swearing, so I did today. I stopped swearing, so now that I know that I'm on the house,
I'm swearing to around my family, and everybody's like, "Yeah." I'm like, blame Big Silz. I think Big Silz is bringing it out.
Wait a minute. My aunt got in my ass last night. She goes, every word out of your mouth has got the F word. So today I've made a cognizant effort. I've only had 1 F-bomb today, and now I know that the show is on in the Miss Krause household. There, I'm going to do even more of I'm going to make sure I make. A cognizant effort to make sure that I do not drop the F-bombs that many times. So, yes, now that I know she's watching, and I knew she did, but I had forgotten. So, great stuff, Zander. Great. Hey, I can't wait to our predictions tomorrow, because I gotta tell you, I'm not leaning And I'll tell you right now, I'm not leaning on a win for the Eagles in this game on Sunday, but we'll see. I'm just not leaning from your one-read quarterback. What a great day this has been. Thank you, great Cosell.
Hey, listen, the Birds can win this game.
The
Birds can win this game. So don't be going into this game, Eagle fans, thinking we can't win because we're playing Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's great. You're going to have to score some points, but we can still win this football game, and I think we're going to. I'll give you a little foreshadowing of my prediction.
Hey, Tony, if I ever had a swear jar, you know those super chats? I'd owe you guys.
Tony, I need one too, dude. I need a swear jar too. I swear.
By the way, just so you know, my aunt watches the show. She's in here every single day too, so she watches the show too. Xander, absolutely great stuff.
Shout out to the legendary Aunt Betty.
Hey, by the way, we have been making an effort to try to get Michael. Michael, I think, is still in the air. If we don't get him today, we'll try to get him tomorrow.
Yeah, Michael's one of those cards. He's a wild card. He's a wild. Yeah,
that's how we got him last time. Remember?
Yeah, I think we had one more super chat. I want to read it real quick. Silz, is it possible to get Tom Brady on? No, that would be a tough swing.
Tom has, get this. So I tried to go through the Fox guys to get Tom Brady on it. Then I tried to go through, his agent, Don Yee. I know Don Yee very well. And Don Yee goes, he's got contractual things with his podcast and with Fox. And so he signed these exclusives. That's why you don't see him on a lot of podcasts, because he's got exclusive deals where he can do like 2 or 3 or 4 a year, where he can go on. So it's not like that anymore for him, because now he's a broadcaster. Before he could do it, now he's a broadcaster.
Lock him down, I'm sure.
Yeah, because look, dude, if you're not going to put those turds on from WIP any longer on my program, Tom Brady's under exclusives too as well. Xander, we'll catch you on Birds 365 tomorrow, my friend.
Yep. Last thing I want to plug, shameless plug. Tonight for the night show, we'll have This Week in Pro Football again tonight. Should be a great show. Sal Palantonio will be on. There's a guy from the who's covering the Bengals in the 7:00 hour, so we'll get the inside scoop on the Bengals. And then there's your sports betting.
Is it Dave Latham?
I think
Dave Latham, is he part of the broadcast team?
No, I think it's I think it's Jeff Hobson, but I think he goes by Butch.
Okay.
I think he covers the Bengals for the Bengals. So he's like the official Bengals guy now. He might give a slant on the Bengals, obviously, but should be good. And then for those asking for the polo yesterday, a lot of people were looking for the polo. I did add it to the site. So if you want to grab a polo, they are up there. Appreciate everybody for all the great support that's been happening here on JAKIB Sports. We have really
How's the sales been going? How's the sales been going on the merch?
Oh, people love the merch, man. We've got a lot of people that are loving the merch. A lot of people are waiting for the Big Silz merch, so I'm working on that. A lot of people are like, "Hey, I want some Big Silz stuff," so I'm going to try and get some Big Silz stuff up as soon as possible. That's all Big Silz wants too. I mean, the show ends and he's like, "Yo, where's my Big Silz merch?" I'm like, "What do you want? Your big ugly mug on a shirt?"
Yeah, I want it on a billboard too.
You got a hoodie today. I love it. Good stuff.
Hey,
so
Anthony goes like this. But do we know Howard Eskin used to come on all the time? He used to do it from his backyard, but he can't any longer because WIP X-Nay Dad said you can no longer go on the Cilio show because he's taking views away from us on our podcast.
That's exactly what they said.
That's exactly. Hey, Zander, we'll catch you tomorrow, brother.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Big Silz. Great show, man. I'll catch you tomorrow.
You got it. All right, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you. Super chats go to the top. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.